Hey everybody, this is Marlon Fan 1995, and I'm going to be reviewing Captain America Civil War, the newest installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I gotta say, I went into the movie Team Iron Man, and I exited as Team Iron Man. I know there's a lot of people that are Team Cap, but I've been Team Iron Man all the way. I have my reasons where I think I'm going to be doing a spoiler review with a couple of special guests coming up sometime soon. And I'll dive a little bit more into why I was and still am Team Iron Man at this point. But the movie, I loved it. It was a great installment. I have to say that at this point, I've seen it twice. I still can't decide if it's better or just a tick below the Winter Soldier, Captain America the Winter Soldier. Now this is by far my favorite Avengers ensemble film. I just still can't determine whether or not I like it better than the Winter Soldier or not. I might have to see it maybe another time. But it was definitely just a great ride, and it was just such a cool movie to watch. I really, really enjoyed it. So before we get into it, let's just talk about Spider-Man without going into any spoilers. Spider-Man was just, he was amazing, pun intended. He was like, he really made the film for the little bit of time that he was in it. Just the way he was introduced, I loved it. It fit perfectly into the film, and you actually kind of knew, like, okay, Spider-Man's about to be introduced. Like, once you just saw the establishing shot, you're like, okay, it's Spider-Man time. So it was really a great entrance for Spider-Man. I thought that Tom Holland did a terrific job as both Peter Parker for the small amount of time that we saw Peter Parker without the Spidey suit, and as Spider-Man as well. I just think that he's going to do a great job, and I really can't wait for the next Spider-Man film. Another new addition, we have Black Panther. I thought that they got his story like very woven into the story like very well. I think that it just like it flowed correctly. Like, he wasn't forced into it. There was a reason why he was there, and it wasn't just to get another superhero on Team Iron Man. There was a specific reason, and I really like that. Now, as far as the overall plot of the movie, I thought the pacing was terrific. It did a lot of hopping from country to country, so there were, always like titles of like, this is where we're at, and I really liked it. They were like really huge on the screen, and it felt a little weird at first, like this was kind of like in your face, but since it happened so much, I got used to it, and it kind of grew on me a little bit. So I actually liked it toward the end of the film. It was like a nice, specific, stylish touch that was unique to this movie, and I thought that was really cool. Just a small thing. The story, it really worked. Now, the fighting between the two sides, it didn't feel forced whatsoever. There was specific reasons, and there was growing tension from the beginning of the film to the end of the film, and even tracing back to since the Avengers first got together. And it's just, you see both sides. You see Captain America's side, and you also see Iron Man's side. And it's just a matter of who are you siding with. There is no right or wrong, and I really think that's just such a cool aspect of the movie. There is no, oh, well, Captain America's right or Iron Man's right. It's just middle ground, and it's just up to your personal opinion of whose side is the better side, not even the right side. And I thought that was really awesome. As far as the action goes, the action was great. That airport scene that everyone was talking about, that was super awesome. It was super awesome. It was definitely the main highlight of the movie. It was spectacular. Like, in comparison to the rest of the film, the airport scene, it just shines incredibly. It was so masterfully done. The choreography for the fight scenes, and just the going back and forth from hero fighting hero to another hero fighting hero, and just all working together, and and it was somewhat lighthearted in a way, but it still had a lot of gravity to the situation. It showed it was one of the few lighthearted moments, I guess if you could call it lighthearted, because it did have some humorous parts of the movie. Now the overall tone of the film was probably, I'd say, I mean, I'd have to go back and look, but I feel like this was the darkest tone for a Marvel movie. It had a very serious underlying theme, and I think that's what kind of pushed that tone along. And it was just like, it felt different. It felt like it was, there was a lot at stake in this movie compared to past films. Compared to maybe Avengers Age of Ultron, where it was just joke after joke. It felt forced at times. And with this one, the humor, it worked. It wasn't forced at all. If there was a humorous scene or comedy bit somewhere, it felt, like it would fit in that situation. It didn't feel like, oh, they did that just to add in a joke. It went along with what was happening, more so than especially the last Avengers film. And I think that's what really helped this movie along, is they knew when to place the humor. Now, and also just one quick thing about the action, I just thought was pretty cool. Now, my first viewing of the movie, I went at 7:30 on Thursday night, and there wasn't that many people there, and I was kind of surprised. But then when I exited the movie, there was a whole line for people to see another showing, so I guess I just went at a weird time. But when I went to see it for the second time, the theater was completely and utterly packed. I mean, the movie was starting, and it was still 5 minutes into the movie, and there were people on the sides, on the aisles, just trying to find empty seats. It was that crazy. And in that one, it was more of a lively crowd, and I kind of enjoyed that to an extent. Sometimes it got a little okay, shut up. But there was, when they did the lineup, when both sides lined up to fight at the airport scene, there was applause, which I find pretty cool. When a cool moment happens in the movie, and you just the crowd gets so pumped about it. I really enjoy that, and I like to see other people enjoying movies. I really get some joy out of just watching people enjoy a movie that I enjoy watching, and that's just that's what I really love about the movie going experience, and that's why I like going and watching movies in a theater. And then finally, we'll just talk about, briefly about the villain, which is Baron Zemo. And this guy, I swear, he is probably my favorite, not necessarily my favorite villain, because Loki's pretty awesome, but he has to be, in my opinion, Marvel's best villain. And that's a pretty strong statement right there, and I'm not going to go into details why, because it would kind of get spoilerish, but I think that this was Marvel's best villain, and I think that he was just so scheming and good. It was just like wow, this dude is just this is a villain, and that is what I really liked about this movie as well. Is it had that very strong. Another way to, I'm really trying to dodge around trying to not spoil this, but just know that he was a very good villain, and I really thought that he was probably Marvel's best attempt at a villain role. And so overall, I just really, really love this film. I'm still trying to decide if it is my favorite overall over The Winter Soldier. It's really neck and neck between those two right now, but definitely the best ensemble movie as far as Avengers go. I really consider this an Avengers movie, even though it did focus more so on Captain America, like they told us it would, but it really also did feel like an Avengers movie. I still think they should have just called it Marvel Civil War rather than Captain America Civil War. I think that would have worked perfectly, but as far as a movie where you have all of the Avengers, this was definitely by far my favorite. It was better than the first Avengers film, and it was better than Age of Ultron, in my opinion. And I really enjoyed it. So, what do you guys think of Captain America Civil War? And are you Team Iron Man or Team Captain America? And did your opinion change by the time you finished watching the movie? I'm curious to know. Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to like me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And until next time, I am Marvel Fan 95. See you guys.